What's going on, gamers? Today we're going over how to install Scape and Run Parasites. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell in order to stay updated on all of our Minecraft videos. One of our worst fears as humans revolve around the concept of a parasitic, malformed recreation of living creatures. It haunts us, to say the least. Scape and Run Parasites incarnates that fear and in form of multiple parasitic monsters, some of which are pre-existing mobs. It's truly horrifying. Today, we're going to go over how to install the mod and everything that entails with it. To get started, you're going to need Forge, so head to the description of this video and look up how to install Forge in one of the links. Once you've done that, the first thing you're going to do is type in Scape and Run Parasites into your browser of choice, hit enter, and one of the first few things that pops up should be the CurseForge link to this mod. Go ahead and select that. Once it loads up, you're going to make sure that you're on the proper page, and then you're going to select the Files button, which is next to the description. Then you're going to scroll down to where you see the Recent Files tab, and what you're going to do is go to the right-hand side of that and click View All. Then, since this mod only runs on 1.12.2, it's safe to say that you can pick the most popular download and click the orange download button. The download will begin, and if a pop-up appears saying that the file can harm your computer, just select Keep. It'll be all good. Then, you're going to go into your Windows search bar and type in %appdata%. Hit Enter, and then you'll see the .minecraft folder. Select that. Then scroll down to Mods. Then you're going to need to open your Downloads folder where Scape and Run is, and click and drag the Scape and Run into your Mods folder. You'll be good to go. To install it on your server, you're going to need to first make sure you're running a Forge profile. So head to the jar file field and type in Forge into the drop-down menu. Scape and Run only works on 1.12.2, so that's the Forge we'll be selecting. A pop-up will appear asking you to change version, then you'll click Create New World, and finally you'll click Restart Now. From here, you're actually going to want to stop your server, so go ahead and click the red stop button right there. Then on the left-hand side, select FTP File Access. Enter in your control panel password, or if it's cached, go ahead and hit Login. Once it's all typed out, just hit the green login button. Then you'll scroll down to where you see the Mods folder. Select that. Next, once that loads, you're going to go to the left-hand side and click the Upload button. Once that loads up, you're going to go ahead and open up your Downloads folder once more, click and drag Scape and Run Parasites into the Add Files section, and once the file has loaded up 100%, which may take a little bit, you're going to go ahead and go to the top of the page where you see the name of your server and select it. Once you're here, you're going to either start, or you could also restart your server to get your server started. Once it's completed, then you'll be good to go and play multiplayer with your friends. Some common issues we run into are the server gets stuck loading. Go ahead and hit console on the left-hand side and then type in /fml confirm. This will run some things on our end, and once the process is complete, the server should load up, no problem. Now, let's get into the mod. The first thing we're going to look at is the Buglin. Their main goal is to grow, and after about a minute or so, they will grow into the next parasite, which is called the Ruptor. The Ruptor is the evolved version of Buglins, and their main goal is to convert vanilla mobs such as pigs to become these infected mobs. Speaking of infected mobs, these are pretty scary remasters of what we typically know. These scary mobs can also spawn in other of those Buglins when they die. Up next are the primitive parasites. There are 6 different versions of these parasites in total, with different adaptations and different abilities, but each one is scary, no matter what. Once they achieve 10 kills on other mobs, there actually can be an adapted version of them. Now these guys are tougher than the basic version of the primitive parasites. They're also a lot scarier looking. Now, the real threat here are the beacons. Beacons? Beacons. Any parasite has a chance to spawn one of these upon their death. They are stationary, and they come in stages of 3. The first one is the least scary and is the best option you have of defeating it. The tree is not that large, the health is not that great, and they only spawn in the most basic version of the parasites. But after a few minutes, they will turn into the stage 2 of the beacons, which now are more dangerous, can spread more of the growth along the ground, and will do more damage. Not only that, but the mobs they spawn in will become the infested mobs, as well as the other mobs that we've already come to know and love. The Ruptors will appear, of course, but also you can see there's an infected sheep, an infected cow, and all they want is to charge you and basically kill you. And to be honest, they're pretty darn good at it too. The last stage is definitely the worst stage. Beacon stage 3 is the tallest tree, the strongest tree, and potentially the most dangerous. If you manage to kill a stage 3 beacon, there's a chance it'll spawn one of the ancient parasites. But you have to get through a lot of potentially dangerous parasites to even kill this tree in the first place. So, good luck. Speaking of the ancient parasites, there are 2 of which. Now, these guys are the baddest of the bad. And the first one that we're going to take the look at is the Dreadnought. This flying Cthulhu monster of doom and despair is terrifying to look at. But luckily, we actually have some pretty strong weapons to use, such as the living bow. Their stats are so crazy on this bow that you can't even tell what amount of damage it does. As you can see, the Dreadnought drops like tusks of sorts that will actually spawn in other parasites. I had to do a time lapse in creative mode just to try to clean up all of this in a quick, efficient manner. The other ancient parasite is the Overlord, and what this one lacks in flight makes up for in health. It has a massive amount of health, and while it only has a normal melee attack, it still has a lot of damage, and I had no intention of fighting it in survival. But you can use the Living Scythe instead of the Living Longbow for this one. It has a swipe ability like the sword, and it does quite a bit of damage as well. The reload time on the ability isn't too bad either. Well, that just about covers everything. While it's a simple yet pretty scary mod, it's a lot of fun, and I encourage you to try it on any of your servers. Well, that'll do it for this video, gamers. As always, I hope that you have lots of fun.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more great content like this, then subscribe or click these videos. Until next time, gamers.